Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I hope that you all are having a wonderful Monday afternoon. It is exactly 2 o'clock p.m., okay? And I'm excited for the conclusion, the final read through of the 7 spiritual laws of success. Okay, this was a very short but yet potent book, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to read this again for the second time. And again, the second time around, things are hitting differently for me. It's in a lot of areas, it's just verifying where I am. But also in other few areas, it's highlighting the spaces and places in which I need to work on, right? And I don't know, y'all, I'm just excited. There's an excitement that's happening within me, even when things get scary or become uncertain. There's still an excitement factor there, and I want to follow that. I want to follow that excitement factor because I think that helps to balance life out. Like, yes, trials, tribulations are, they're going to happen. There's nothing that we can do to stop those things from happening. But what we can do is control how we feel and what we think, about these situations. And that's where you tap into your godhood. And before we continue, all right, with chapter 6 and 7, and I think it's a conclusion as well we're going to read. Before we get into that, we have to what? Work smart, not hard, okay? Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And with that being said, let us get into chapter 6, okay, of the 7 spiritual laws of success, entitled The Law of Detachment. And that is still an area that I am still learning to work on internally, to let things go. And I'm excited for this chapter. But before we get into that, let me take a quick sip of water and then we will begin. Give me one moment. Andrew Caldwell, rah. Give me one moment.
That's one thing. And
you wanted it,
okay,
and you got it.
you what?
You wanted it,
And you what?
and you got it.
Okay, hopefully that will suffice. Anyway, chapter 6, the law of detachment. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning, and in our willingness to step into the unknown, the field of all possibilities. We surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. Okay, I'm going to have to fix this because I have a pop filter, but it kind of fell apart, so I'm kind of nigger rigging this right here. Okay, and I don't want it to mess up the quality of the audio because I'm still trying to balance out this whole background music situation, so please excuse me. Okay. Let me do this. That'll work. Yes, that's a lot better. Like two golden birds perched on the self-same tree. Intimate friends. The ego and the self dwell in the same body. The former eats the sweet and sour fruits of the tree of life, while the latter looks on in detachment. And that is the Mundaka Upanishad. It's them, okay? Again, if you expecting a perfect read through, it ain't gonna happen here. This is the BubzDaGawd flow, okay? The sixth the sixth spiritual law of success is the law of detachment. The law of detachment says that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. Now, this doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention and you don't give up the desire, okay? You give up your attachment to the result, okay? How you believe it's going to happen. This is a very powerful thing to do. The moment you relinquish your attachment to the result, combining one pointed intention with the detachment at the same time, again, chapter 5 talks about that, you will have that which you desire. Anything you want can be acquired through detachment, because detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of your true self. Attachment, on the other hand, is based on fear and insecurity. And the need for security is based on not knowing the true self. The source of wealth, of abundance, or of anything in the physical world is the self. It is the consciousness that knows how to fulfill every need. Everything else is a symbol. Cars, houses, banknotes, clothes, airplanes. See, symbols are transitory, okay? They come and go. Chasing symbols is like settling for the map instead of the territory. It creates anxiety. It ends up making you feel hollow and empty inside because you exchange yourself for the symbols of yourself, okay? To be in the world but not of the world, or things that we idolize, false idols. Not honoring the thing that stays, but honor the things that come and go and give that more power than the self, okay? See, attachment comes from poverty consciousness because attachment is always to symbols. Detachment is synonymous with wealth consciousness because with detachment, there is freedom to create. I'm gonna read that again. Detachment is synonymous with wealth consciousness because with detachment, there is freedom to create. Only from detached involvement can one have joy and laughter. Then the symbols of wealth are created spontaneously and effortlessly. Without detachment, we are prisoners of helplessness, hopelessness, mundane needs, trivial concerns, quiet desperation, and seriousness. The distinctive features of everyday mediocre existence and poverty consciousness. True wealth consciousness is the ability to have anything you want, anytime you want, and with least effort. To be grounded in this experience, you have to be grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty. In this uncertainty, you will find the freedom to create anything you want. People are constantly seeking security, and you will find that seeking security is actually a very ephemeral thing. Ephemeral thing. People are constantly seeking security, and you will find that seeking security is actually a very ephemeral thing. Lord, fuck it. Okay, I already did it the second time. It is what it is. Every attachment to money is a sign of insecurity. You might say, oh, when I have X million dollars, then I'll be secure. Then I'll be financially independent and I will retire. Then I will do all the things I really want to do. But it never happens. Never happens. Those who seek security chase it for a lifetime without ever finding it. It remains elusive and ephemeral. Lord. Because security can never come from money alone. Attachment to money will always create insecurity, no matter how much money you have in the bank. In fact, some of the people who have the most money are the most insecure. He says some, baby, not all. The search for security is an illusion. In ancient wisdom traditions, the solution to this whole dilemma lies in the wisdom of insecurity, or the wisdom of uncertainty. This means that the search for security and certainty is actually an attachment to the known. And what's the known? The known is our past. The known is nothing other than the prison of past conditioning. There's no evolution in that. Absolutely none at all. And when there is no evolution, there is stagnation. entropy, disorder, and decay. Uncertainty, on the other hand, is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. Uncertainty means stepping into the unknown in every moment of our existence. The unknown is the field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the creation of new manifestations. Without uncertainty and the unknown, life is just the stale repetition of outworn memories. You become the victim of the past, and your tormentor today is yourself left over from yesterday. Baby, and this is the one thing I'm learning about my life walking by faith, baby. You have to embrace fear. You have to embrace fear. That's the twist of it. You have to embrace it. You have to walk into it knowing that something greater is for you. Even while you walking up to the shit, even when you're going through the shit, and then you receive what you desire and more when you get out of it. And that's what I'm learning, y'all. When I tell y'all I'm walking by faith, and I'm excited because at the end of the day, when I look back, a lot of people who have catapulted themselves and have really benefited society and was able to live their best life started at the bottom. They had to find out what their bottom, what their ground floor feels like. And then when they climb up the ladder, they continue to have humility and to be humble to themselves, so the ground grows with them. So that even when they fall, baby, you don't fall too damn far because you understand where your ground is, right? And maybe it's just me, but goddamn it, I'm glad it's me. Okay? Because I'm just... Let's continue. Let me read that again, okay? Because I had to remind myself with this part. Without uncertainty and the unknown, right? Without it, life is just a stale repetition of outworn memories. You become the victim of the past, and your tormentor today is yourself left over from yesterday. So you sitting here hooking up your own blessing. And I've done that too many times, y'all. And there's too much life, too much money, too much love, too much exploration, too much peace, too much abundance out there for me to be removing myself from the equation. But now that I'm including myself, oh, the universe doing the rest. Again, chapter 5 said, baby, focus on your intention. Set your intention goal. Your intention, not the attention, the intention with the I. Let it go in the gap of your memories or the gap of your mind. And to not judge the experience to what you desire, because again, you relinquish what you think is going to happen and say, okay, God, source, universe, whatever you call it to be, I'm going to just do my part as far as experiencing and going through the motions, because even going through the motions, I'm learning something about myself. Even when it's unfavorable, even when it can be embarrassing, despite all that type of stuff, I'm going to learn not to judge that and be consumed by it, but to acknowledge it for what it is and to move forward, because baby, this is just a sign to let me know I'm on the way. I'm just looking at this as a road, like a road marker. Okay, here, okay, cool. It's again about how you control your mind and your emotions. And there can get to a point, baby, where all things can work for your good. And that's what I'm tapping into. Relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown, and you will step into the field of all possibilities. In your willingness to step into the unknown, you will have the wisdom of uncertainty factored in. This means that in every moment of your life, you will have excitement, adventure, mystery. You will experience the fun of life, the magic, the celebration, the exhilaration, and the exaltation of your own spirit. Every day, you can look for the excitement of what may occur in the field of all possibilities. When you experience uncertainty, you are on the right path. So don't give it up. You don't need to have a complete and rigid idea of what you'll be doing next week or next year, because if you have a very clear idea of what's going to happen and you get rigidly attached to it, then you shut out a whole range of possibilities. One characteristic, I'm gonna take a sip of water, baby. Andrew Caldwell trying to ride this tongue, bitch. Hold on. Again, for all of my fellow partakers of the herb, water is your friend. Water is your friend. Water is your friend, okay? One characteristic of the field of all possibilities is infinite correlation. The field can orchestrate an infinity of space-time events to bring about the outcome that is intended. But when you are attached, your intention gets locked into a rigid mindset and you lose the fluidity, the creativity, and the spontaneity inherent in the field. When you get attached, you freeze your desire from that infinite fluidity and flexibility into a rigid framework which interferes with the whole process of creation. Okay? The law of detachment does not interfere with the law of intent and desire, with goal setting, that is. You still have the intention of going in a certain direction. You know, you still have a goal. However, between point A and point B, there are infinite possibilities. Now, with uncertainty factored in, you might have changed direction in any moment if you find a higher ideal or if you find something more exciting. See, you are less likely to force solutions on problems, which enables you to stay alert to opportunities. The law of detachment accelerates the whole process of evolution. When you understand this law, you don't feel compelled to force solutions. See, when you force solutions on problems, you only create new problems. But when you put your attention, okay, with the A, on the uncertainty, and you witness the uncertainty while you expectantly wait for the solution to emerge out of the chaos and the confusion, then what emerges is something very fabulous and exciting. This state of alertness, your preparedness in the present in the field of uncertainty, meets with your goal and your intention, and allows you to seize the opportunity. Well, what's the opportunity? It's contained within every problem that you have in your life. Every single problem, okay, keyword, every single problem that you have in your life is the seed of an opportunity for something greater, for a greater benefit. Okay? Every single problem that you have in your life is the seed of an opportunity for some greater benefit. Once you have that perception, you open up to a whole range of possibilities. And this keeps the mystery, the wonder, the excitement, the adventure alive. See, you can look at every problem you have in your life as an opportunity for some greater benefit. You can stay alert to opportunities by being grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty. When your preparedness meets opportunity, the solution will spontaneously appear. What comes out of that is often called good luck. Good luck is nothing but preparedness and opportunity coming together. See, when the two are mixed together with an alert witnessing of the chaos, okay, you're still seeing the chaos in the midst of the stuff, a solution emerges that will be of evolutionary benefit to you and to all those that you come into contact with. This is the perfect recipe for success, and it is based on the law of detachment. Baby, when I tell, a wise mystic said, girl, once you start delving into spiritual stuff and not just getting the knowledge, but applying the knowledge, that's the one place where a lot of us get stuck. And we will have moments, but once again, those problems will have us kind of stumped. But then again, we have to remind ourselves that, baby, somewhere in here, something benefits me. And great, when you do it through love, at least for me, and what it says here at the end, if you do it in a higher vibratory way, it not only benefits you, but you benefit other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is apply it and live it, and trust me, you will understand. Okay. Now here comes at the end of the end of the chapter, where we have these declarations. Okay, so applying the law of detachment, I will put the law of detachment into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. First, today I will commit myself to detachment. I will allow myself and those around me the freedom to be as they are, right? I will not rigidly impose my idea of how things should be. I will not force solutions on problems, thereby creating new problems. I will participate in everything with detached involvement, I will participate in everything with detached involvement. Second, today I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient of my experience. All these A's together and in my willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge out of the problem, out of the confusion, disorder, and chaos. The more uncertain things seem to be, the more secure I will feel, because uncertainty is my path to freedom. Through the wisdom of uncertainty, I will find my security, okay? And I speak that over myself now. And third, I will step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when I remain open to an infinity of choices. When I step into the field of all possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. And ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, that is the end of chapter 6, entitled The Law of Detachment. And again, this is something that I am applying in my own life. I'm just learning to fall in love with the feeling of being happy and feeling it now. And again, one way you can ground yourself is really starting to find ways to appreciate the small things in your life. Like, we tend to despise small beginnings. We tend to despise starting over. We tend to despise things as they're growing in their infancy. But to appreciate it, to really learn to love it, to nurture it. And these 7 spiritual laws of success, at least to me, they seem somewhat easier, but I know that as I continue to grow in life, we will always remain a student. We might master a certain level, but it's definitely levels to this stuff. It's about how far you want to go. You know, there are some people who want to go as far as they can. There are some people who have an idea of how they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, you have the power. You, Y-O-U, the God in you, which is also you, has the power to tap into these things and manifest your best life. But at the same time, when we really get down to like the actual genesis or like the root of everything, God, source, universe, these laws, what they are is they're just avenues to power, one central source of power. And we've seen a lot of people, and again, power is neutral. It's about the intent, the intent of the power and what they want to do with it. So a lot of people use power to hurt, to destroy, to, just, again, insecurity. and people have a choice. That's their choice because it's their life. But hopefully with this knowledge, it will be able to help you realize that no matter what people do outside of you, you always got the power to control your life. So even in the midst of chaos, things outside of you, which is said once again are transitory, things come and go. So as things outside of you are coming and going, what will always remain, what will always stay the same, and that will never change is you, as far as your true essence. Now, as far as the human side of us, yes, we will go through our changes and evolve and grow because we are spiritual beings having a natural experience. And I just want to do my part to help contribute to society. I don't care how big or how small, as long as somebody benefits from the information and the energy that I share. That's all that matters. Because I know what God has for me, Source has for me, Universe has for me. It really is for me. But now I'm starting to realize that. I'm starting to accept that. I'm starting to understand that me and we won't be able to see the full totality of everything until we include ourselves, even the parts of ourselves that we don't like, the parts of ourselves that we struggle with, the parts of ourselves that, oh my God, if these people found out, the parts of ourselves that will be judged, the parts of ourselves that are afraid of the opinions and perspectives and critiques of everybody else. But I could talk about this all day, baby. At the end of the day, love yourself. That's the most important thing. And then these things will make sense to you in your own unique way, okay? But before we get into chapter 7 and then the conclusion, we're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to sip on some water because, baby, I need it, all right? And we will be back in a few, all right? So, again, if you like the instrumentals that are being played during this live, they're in the description box below. They're from a content creator by the name of Cosmic Perspective. I love their channel. Oh my God, it's amazing. Please go over there and subscribe. Their vibrations. Okay, let me give Andrew, because Andrew Caldwell. Okay, girl, hold on. Let me give you your shit. Hold on, girl, because you just... Girl.
Hell no. In no way. Ain't never been a representative for me, so speak for you, my brother.
Honey, I represent all the men here. Anyway.
Okay. We'll be right back, y'all. Give us like a minute or so. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Baby, I needed that for a second. I had to check my email. I'm still trying to do this. Hold on one second. I'm almost done. There we go. There we go. Hold on. Okay, well, damn, can you hurry up? Okay, there we go. All right, okay. And I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, too, because, baby, my phone be blowing up. All right. Let me get the comments, because I think we have Ron in the building. Shout out to Ron in the building. Ron says this. Hey, Bubz, I was listening to the last part you were saying before you took a break about letting go, and I know it can be quite the struggle to stop everything and start over, but I noticed that it does really make a difference. Also, I enjoy the music in the background. Great choice. Thank you, Ron. I try to, like, that's why I kind of like where this channel is going. Like, at least, like, right now, I'm loving the whole, like, podcasty, like, very much just audio type of thing. Because I want people to focus on what's being said and not really much what they see. We're already stimulated enough. It's like, can we at least be stimulated mentally, emotionally? Like, we can still keep the physical shit. Like, I'm cool with the physical shit. Like, I'm a human being. I'm balanced. But can we also balance things out as well? You know what I mean? And to your point, when you said about letting things go, that's one thing that is, I'm still learning too, to let things go, honestly. Like, now I'm starting to let go of my own insecurities and fears, as far as, like, in a root level type of way. When I was in my 20s and I was just trying to find love outside of myself through relationships, I was addressing and getting mad and dealing with the outside perspective. Like, why ain't the outside world validate me? Why is I know I'm this and I'm that and I'm good and I'm whoop-de-whoop. And like I said in chapter 6, like, chasing some sort of wealth or something outside of you that always seems to be elusive, like, all the time. And I had to get to the point, and especially through the help of a wise mystic, who I feel like I owe half of everything to, especially when my shit popped the hell off, bitch. Okay, here you go, 50%, ho. Here you go. Thank you. But I had to make it about me. But make it about me in the way that was scary. Like, make it about me in the way of, check yourself. Check how you're responding to the situation, as opposed to, like, how a lot of us want to just address the outside situation only. Do you get what I'm saying? So the more we learn to let things go, and that's the thing about life too, like, life will put us in situations where things will be removed from us whether we want it to or not. Like, family members will be removed, certain material possessions will be removed, like, things, again, transitory outside of you. Even we are just like a moment in time, and there will come a time where we will not be here anymore. So it's like, if nature and everything is showing us what it looks like to let things go and let things go, and they will come back. Let things go, and we have to find a way to apply it to our lives. And because we have a nervous system and we're having this dualistic human experience, our job is to find the balance in that. Or at least it's what I believe in my interpretation. And again, that's just Bub's interpretation through the 7 spiritual laws of success. But my perspective is validated and honored, and so is yours. Especially if it's not hurting anybody. Do you get what I'm saying? And shout out to Queen Lala in the building. What's going on, Lala? I've been wondering about y'all. Like, where's Lala? I haven't seen Lala comment a lot or anything or in the chat. But I'm glad that you are here today. So whenever I see y'all, and again, I'm starting to remember y'all names. I know who my peoples is now, so I'll be excited. And the fact that y'all rocking with me on the things that I want to talk about, like, okay, yes, I have to address the again, I'm a human being, I'm balanced, so I have to deal with all the outside world. That's cool. But when it comes down to stuff like this, stuff that really makes you think, you know, questions you to go deeper. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like it deep. No shade. But a lot of deep, like deepness. Okay, the depths. All right? And facing the dark and what could be in the dark. And it's like, baby, no shade. And I'm going to get into chapter 7. Being in organized religion and coming out of organized religion, but still understanding the underlying thing, because even with that, the truth has to be there somewhere in order for it to still manifest. It can't just be all lies. There has to be some form of truth. So the Christ narrative about love and all that type of stuff, for me, that was the underlying theme to where, like, I can understand why organized religion doesn't want us to learn this and wants us to demonize this and say this is evil and bad, because, again, they want us to rely, or the system want us to rely on them only. No, you have to rely on yourself, because you came in this world by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself. And once you get to that point, and I swear everything that I'm saying, to some people, it might sound like, oh, this nigga high. It might sound like, oh, Bub speaking in parables. Apply this stuff to your life, and I promise you, you will understand. When I went through my ego death in the beginning of my spiritual journey, a lot of this shit sound like jargon too. It sound like, damn, you live in the King James version with this thou thus saith, and all this Andrew Caldwell teeth lisp stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you apply it, life becomes different. And I'm just saying, just live it. Okay, Lala says, I don't have an Instagram no more. YouTube is. YouTube. Okay, understandable. I was wondering where you was at, but I'm glad that you're here. Shout out to you, okay? And let's get another sip of water, girl. Let's do that. Lord. And let's get into chapter 7, which is the final chapter, and then we'll be reading the conclusion or the afterthoughts. Chapter 7, entitled The Law of Dharma, with a D, Dharma, or Purpose in Life. Everyone has a purpose in life, a unique gift or special talent to give to others. And when we blend this unique talent with service to others, we experience the ecstasy and the exaltation of our own spirit, which is the ultimate goal of all goals. All right, let's get into what this is. All right. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart. Okay, hold on, let me do that again, because it's coming from somebody else whose name I'm probably going to butcher at the end. When you work, right, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turn to music. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. And that's from Khalil Gibran, the prophet. Baby, all these damn words being put in backwards and shit. The 7th spiritual law of success is the law of Dharma. Dharma is a Sanskrit word that means purpose in life. the law of Dharma says that we have taken manifestation in physical form to fulfill a purpose. The field of pure potentiality is divinity in its essence, and the divine takes human form to fulfill a purpose. According to this law, you have a unique talent and a unique way of expressing it. There is something that you can do better than anyone else in the whole world. And for every unique talent and unique expression of that talent, there are also unique needs. When these needs are matched with the creative expression of your talent, that is the spark that creates affluence. That is the spark that creates affluence. Expressing your talents to fulfill needs creates unlimited wealth and abundance. If you could start children right now from the beginning with this thought, okay, you'd see the effect it has on their lives. In fact, I did this with my own children. Again and again, I told them there was a reason why they were here, and they had to find out what that reason was for themselves. From the age of 4 years, they heard this, okay? I also taught them to meditate when they were about the same age, and I told them, I never, ever want you to worry about making a living. If you're unable to make a living when you grow up, I'll provide for you, so don't worry about that, okay? I don't want you to focus on doing well in school. I don't want you to focus on getting the best grades or going to the best colleges. What I really want you to focus on is asking yourself, how can you serve humanity, and asking yourself what your unique talents are. Because you have a unique talent that no one else has, and you have a special way of expressing that talent, and no one else has it. They ended up going to the best schools, getting the best grades, and even in college, they are unique in that they are financially self-sufficient because they are focused on what they are here to give. This then is the law of Dharma. Exactly, Ron. Spread good Dharma, you get good karma. There you go. And it goes back to the first chapter. When you start loving yourself and realize how you can serve other people, you will connect with other people who will be asking that same thing about you. How can I serve you? So again, we're back and forth, the law of giving and receiving. But in love, is spontaneous, it's fruitful, it's life-giving, it's unlimited, which means all possibilities. And I'm a 5'2" leprechaun, so I believe in all possibilities, okay? And growing more and more each day. There are 3 components to the law of Dharma. The first component says that each of us is here to discover our true self. To find out to find out on our own that our true self is spiritual. That essentially we are spiritual beings that have taken manifestation in physical form. We're not human beings that have occasional spiritual experiences. Let me read that again. Loosen these lips. We're not human beings, okay? We're not human beings that have occasional spiritual experiences, okay? It's the other way around. We're spiritual beings that have occasional human experiences. Like I said, you can't make this shit up. We are spiritual beings having a natural experience. Remember your power, your divinity, your alignment. It's always available to you, and there's nothing you could ever do in this world that could separate you from that. Each of us is here to discover our higher self or our spiritual self. That's the first fulfillment of law of Dharma. We must find out for ourselves that inside us is a god or a goddess in embryo that wants to be born so that we can express our divinity. The second component of the law of Dharma is to express our unique talents. The law of Dharma says that every human being has a unique talent. You have a talent that is unique in its own expression, so unique that there's no one else alive on this planet that has that talent or that expression of that talent. This means that there's one thing you can do and one way of doing it that is better than anyone else on this entire planet. And when you're doing that one thing, you lose track of time. When you're expressing that one unique talent that you possess, or more than one unique talent in many cases, okay? I'm tapping into that all facets, okay? The expression of that talent takes you into timeless awareness. The third component of the law of Dharma is service to humanity. To serve your fellow human beings and to ask yourself the questions, how can I help? How can I help all those that I come into contact with? When you combine the ability to express your unique talent with service to humanity, then you make full use of the law of Dharma. And coupled with the experience of your own spirituality, the field of pure potentiality, there is no way you will not have access to unlimited abundance. Because that is the real way abundance is achieved. Come through. All right? This is not a temporary abundance, right? Not temporary. It's permanent. Because of your unique talent and your way of expressing it, and your service and dedication to your fellow human beings, which you discovered through asking the question, how can I help, instead of what's in it for me? The question, what's in it for me, is the internal dialogue of the ego. Asking, how can I help, is the internal dialogue of the spirit. The spirit is that domain of your awareness where you experience your universality. I hope I said that right. In just shifting your internal dialogue from what's in it for me to how can I help, you automatically go beyond the ego into the domain of your spirit. And like I said before, my father was quote master until I got of age and started doing it myself and looking at myself. But it's one that I still live by. If it's one thing a person is going to always remember about you, they're going to always remember about you. They're going to remember how you made them feel. Okay? Because when you start asking, how can I help, in a world of people who are asking, what's in it for me, people remember that helping stuff. No shade. Because trust me, it's people who's helping me throughout my own journey right now. That when my physical manifestation of shit pop on, it's gonna be like, baby, look, let me get you back plus interest, okay? Because I'm a man of my word. While meditation is the most useful way of entering the domain of the spirit, simply shifting your internal dialogue to how can I help will also access the spirit, that domain of your awareness where you experience your universality. If you want to make maximum use of the law of Dharma, then you have to make several commitments. The first commitment is, I am going to seek my higher self, which is beyond my ego, through spiritual practice. The second commitment is, I am going to discover my unique talents, and finding my unique talents, I am going to enjoy myself, because the process of enjoyment occurs when I go into timeless awareness. See, that's when I am in the state of bliss. The third commitment is I am going to ask myself, how am I best suited to serve humanity? I am going to answer that question and then put it into practice, into application. I am going to use my unique talents to serve the needs of my fellow human beings. I will match those needs to my desire to help and serve others. Sit down and make a list of the answer to these two questions. Ask yourself, if money was no concern and you had all the time and money in the world, what would you do? I ask myself that all the time, and I'm already coming up with the answers, baby. Come on, this book. Again, you can't make this up. Where am I at? I lost my damn place. Ask yourself, if money was no concern, right? And you had all the time and money in the world, what would you do? If you would still do what you currently do, then you are in Dharma, because you have passions for what you do, right? You are expressing your unique talents. Then ask yourself, how am I best suited to serve humanity? Answer that question and put it into practice. Discover your divinity. Find your unique talent. Serve humanity with it, and you can generate all the wealth that you want. When your creative expressions match the needs of your fellow humans, then wealth will spontaneously flow from the unmanifest into the manifest, from the realm of the spirit to the world of form. You will begin to experience your life as a miraculous expression of divinity, not just occasionally, but all the time. And you will know true joy and the true meaning of success, the ecstasy and exaltation, of your own spirit. Come on now. Applying the law of Dharma, or purpose in life. I will put the law of Dharma into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. First, today, I will lovingly nurture the god or goddess, an embryo that lies deep within my soul. I will pay attention to the spirit within me that animates both my body and my mind, I will awaken to this deep stillness within my heart. I will carry the consciousness of timeless, eternal being in the midst of time-bound experience. Second, I will make a list of my unique talents. Then I will list all the things that I love to do while expressing my unique talents. When I express my unique talents and use them in the service of humanity, I lose track of time and create abundance in my life, as well as in the lives of others. And third, I will ask myself daily, how can I serve? And how can I help? The answers to these questions will allow me to help and serve my fellow human beings with love. And that is the end of chapter 7, entitled Applying the Law of Dharma. Read the last page, y'all. The Law of Dharma, okay? Let me look at y'all comments, and then we'll get into the summary and conclusion. All right? Ron says, stop me if I'm wrong, but it seems like a lot of these exercises and connecting with our higher selves remind me of Buddhism. And I agree, it does. It does. There are certain spiritual practices that delve deeper into the unknown, to dive deeper into the mind, to dive deeper into the darkness. And a lot of us, especially here in the Western culture, through religion, we've been told not to go in the dark. The devil's in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Demons are over there in the dark. And only a certain group of people can go in the dark and navigate you through your own darkness. But when I went through my ego death in 2018, nothing in my religious history, teachings, indoctrination was able to prepare me for what I went through. But I tell you what did prepare me. Self-love prepared me. And that was a time where I started my spiritual journey. And again, that's when a teacher entered into my life, because I feel like once we start ascending, or that we make the decision to ascend, we will have people come into our lives who are teachers, who have just mastered a certain level that you're ascending to, that come through and they give you information. But they're also students too. So it's like, it's in hindsight now that I've grown, it's really a give and take, a given, you know what I'm saying, and take of lessons. But you will have that in your life. And even though I was still in the genesis of it, because of the way my mind is and the commitment that I have to certain things, and especially since it was like the last resort, because baby, I was like, there, baby, this has to be it, girl, because if ain't nothing after this, baby, I don't know what life is gonna be like. But I realized that spiritual journey and self-love was everything from the beginning, before I came in, even while I leave, even when I'm gone, like, that was the one thing I had to connect to. So, and even the things that I learned before I started reading these books, because these are my grandmother's books that she had before she passed away. I didn't realize how spiritual she was, but I'm just grateful for that there, because I look back over my life and be like, damn, if I didn't take my self-love journey serious, as far as even initiating it and staying consistent with it, even though I was still very much egoic, but still consistent with it, I wonder what would have happened. But that's in the past, baby, because what was supposed to happen happened. So, but yes, it is Buddhism. A lot of us in the Western culture are learning more about higher self-awareness, and I think that's the scary part that the system doesn't want us to do. Because when people liberate themselves, the system loses power, because the system is only energized. They take these different, like, laws, spiritual laws or universal laws, and they keep a lot of us in the dark while they're knowledgeable about it. And then they feed off of our energy. And that's why I'm doing what I can to help humanity. Like, when I tell you, like, even though I do dive into the intersections of humanity, like racism, queerphobia, all this other type of stuff, I still understand and realize that we're human beings. So I be trying to create content and share information that can help alleviate fear. It can help, you know what I mean, lift up the objective, universal truth that all of us are bound to. And I feel like love is one of those things. So I'm just doing what I can, baby. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Learning to love myself, to use my talents, my unique talents, and my unique way of expressing them, baby, because ain't nobody gonna be able to express BubzDaGawd like me. So I'm really, again, humility. I can honor everybody else's expressions, but my expression matters too. No shade. And I'm gonna let the universe validate that, because I validated it. You know what I'm saying? Girl, this heavy ass tongue on and maybe it's just me, I'm realizing this. A lot of people who are going into higher levels of awareness, a lot of them are starting to have like some sort of like lisps now, or there's something with the tongue. I just realized that because there's people that I follow, that I on Instagram and YouTube, who I look up to. Like, there's a lot of vocal people that I look up to who they can enunciate their words, but they also have like something of the mouth, girl, something of the mouth. And even with indigo children, and I have to do more research on that, but it's a book I want to read called Cryon. It's a series, but I'm going to end up taking the books that my grandma had, baby, because I ain't buying no new ones right now. I got so many I have to read first. But a lot of creative people now, just the way that they talk, their tongue is weird. And I'm just realizing that, because my tongue, baby, is like, I know I can talk and I know I can speak, but sometimes I be talking, I be like, girl, what did Andrew Caldwell shit? Is this what I'm going to end up sounding like him, Lord? Make this, hope this download correctly, okay? But that's just an observation. Do you think that you discovering these books on reconnecting with yourself and spirit that was once your grandmother's literatures that thus sign that she continues to guide? Yes, yes. Even when I was younger, I remember my grandmother um, had a lot of spiritual books and a lot of different books too. She had sex books. We was sneaking down there looking at those sex books though. I was like, oh, grandma. I got caught one time. It's okay. You can look at the. I mean, you're not grown, but it's okay. You have a natural curiosity. Like my grandmother was not judging at all. Like when I came out, she was like, "Oh, your boyfriend and stuff like that." Before she had dementia, you know what I'm saying? But, um, yeah, she was a very spiritual woman, and I remember I was spending the summer down there, and I had watched one of these videos that talked about like near-death experiences. Now I'm young watching this shit, and the shit kind of fucked me up a little bit because I'm like, bitch, we all gonna die, we all gonna die, and just different people dying and stuff. I couldn't eat for a whole day, bitch. I was very dramatic as a child, girl. Just my imagination was on point. I just didn't have any knowledge on how to deal with that, which is why a lot of people picked on me and made fun of me because I didn't know how to express my uniqueness and I wasn't assimilating. But after she passed away, and I went to go visit my parents who also live in Indiana with my grandfather and my uncle who's autistic. So they're down there helping him out. And when I went to go visit them a few times, like probably last year or so, my mom was like, you know, grandma has all these books and it was dust on the motherfuckers. I'm like, damn, I had a damn allergy attack. Where's the Flonase? Where's the Zyrtec? Okay. But I almost took every single damn book she had back home. I'm like, all these books. And I started reading them, and I still read books like off of YouTube or whatever. That's why I'm like, okay, I know what book I want to read next. So even when I read them to you guys on YouTube, I'm reading them a second time, and I'm also learning more stuff as well. So, and like I said, when you start loving yourself, you can't make this shit up, or really you can, because you really manifest it, but you're aware of it. You're aware of it. So at a young age, I've had like moments of like intense awareness that kind of like made me depressed and made me sad, because I didn't understand them. But now that I'm older and I'm studying to show myself approved, and I've gotten myself out of the box of religion and really started casting my net into the depths, and I'm still in the beginning stages. Like I'm still scratching the tip of the iceberg, but it's a new experience. And just reading this book is just validated a lot of things for me. It's just exciting. That's the thing, like using my gifts and my talents. I know I have a knack for podcasting or some sort of voice acting. Now I'm gonna have to read the stuff and rehearse it a few times so this damn tongue can get into alignment, baby. Because like I say, a lot of creative people, they tongue just, okay, can we take another take? Can we take 2, take 3? Thank you. You know, but to use my gifts and talents, and when you operate in love, baby, the universe literally will attract you with people on that frequency. Hello. Loved myself and ended up being a host of a reunion of a show of people who feel like they somewhat know me because I review the show. Got flued out of everything. And that might be small to some people, but goddamn it, it's a start. Okay, but see, once again, you see how I control my own narrative despite what other people outside of me might think or believe or want to believe. And I even have to deal with my own ego and my fear of people saying that to me and not be triggered by it. Because it's one thing to read this shit, but it's another thing to apply it, especially on a public scale like on the internet. But again, those are, again, these 7 spiritual laws. If you practice them in your everyday life, and trust me, life will make sure to give you plenty of opportunities, baby, to learn it. When you apply it and you become more aware, your life literally changes for the better, to where it's like, baby, it's only death if I were to go back. And I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well go forward. Shit. Okay? But let's get into the summary and conclusion. Okay? I want to know God's thoughts. The rest are details. And that's from Albert Einstein. Come on. He said, I want to know God's thoughts. The rest of this shit is just details. Okay? The universal mind choreographs. Oh, girl, I said it right. Cause I be watching Amber Lynn too, and sometimes she be saying stuff that be kind of like words said the wrong way, and I be like, they is rubbing off on me. I need to stop watching them. The universal mind choreographs everything that is happening in billions of galaxies with elegant precision and unfaltering intelligence. Its intelligence is ultimate and supreme, and it permeates every fiber of existence, from the smallest to the largest, from the atom to the cosmos. Everything that is alive is an expression of this intelligence. And this intelligence operates through the 7 spiritual laws. Excuse me. Had to burp a little bit. If you look at any cells in the human body, you will see through its functioning the expression of these laws. Every cell, whether it's a stomach cell or a heart cell or a human or a brain cell, has its birth in the law of pure potentiality. DNA is a perfect example of pure potentiality. In fact, it is the material expression of pure potentiality. The same DNA existing in every cell expresses itself in different ways in order to fulfill the unique requirements of that particular cell. Every cell also operates through the law of giving. A cell is alive and healthy when it is in a state of balance and equilibrium. This state of equilibrium is one of fulfillment and harmony, but it is maintained by a constant give and take. Each cell gives to and supports every other cell, and in turn is nourished by every other cell. The cell is always in a state of dynamic flow, and the flow is never interrupted. In fact, the flow is the very essence of the life of the cell. And only by maintaining this flow of giving is the cell able to receive and thus continue its vibrant existence. The law of karma is exquisitely executed by every cell because built into its intelligence is the most appropriate and precisely correct response to every situation as it occurs. The law of least effort is also exquisitely executed by every cell in the body. It does its job with quiet efficiency in the state of restful alertness. Through the law of intention and desire, every intention with an I, intention of every cell, harnesses the infinite organizing power of nature's intelligence. Even a simple intention such as, metabolizing a molecule of sugar immediately sets off a symphony of events in the body where precise amounts of hormones have to be secreted at precise moments to convert this molecule of sugar into pure creative energy. Of course, every cell expresses the law of detachment. It is detached from the outcome of its intentions. It doesn't stumble or falter because its behavior is a function of life-centered, present moment awareness. Each cell also expresses the law of Dharma. Each cell must discover its own source, the higher self. It must serve its fellow beings and express its unique talents. Heart cells, stomach cells, and immune cells all have their source in the higher self, the field of pure potentiality. And because they are directly linked to this cosmic computer, they can express their unique talents with effortless ease and timeless awareness. Only by expressing their unique talents can they maintain both their own integrity and the integrity of the whole body. The internal dialogue of every cell in the human body is, how can I help? The heart cells want to help the immune cells. The immune cells wants to help the stomach and lung cells, and the brain cells are listening to and helping every other cell. Every cell in the human body has only one function: to help every other cell. By looking at the behavior of the cells of our own body, we can observe the most extraordinary and efficient expressions of the seven spiritual laws. This is the genius of nature's intelligence. These are the thoughts of God. The rest are details. Okay? The seven spiritual laws of success are powerful principles that will enable you to attain self-mastery. If you put your attention with an A, if you put your attention on these laws and practice the steps outlined in this book, you will see that you can manifest anything you want. All the affluence, money, and success that you desire. You will also see that your life becomes more joyful and abundant in every way. For these laws are also the spiritual laws of life that make living worthwhile. There is a natural sequence for the application of these laws in your daily life that may help you to remember them. The law of pure potentiality is experienced through silence, through meditation, through non-judgment, through communion with nature. But it is activated by the law of giving and receiving. Okay? The principle here is to learn to give that which you seek. That's how you activate the law of pure potentiality. If you seek affluence, give affluence. If you seek money, give money. If you seek love, appreciation, and affection, then learn to give love, appreciation, and affection. Through your actions in the law of giving, you activate the law of karma. I create good karma, and good karma makes everything in life easy. You notice that you don't have to expend a lot of effort to fulfill your desires, which automatically leads to an understanding of the law of least effort. When everything is easy and effortless, and your desires keep getting fulfilled, you spontaneously begin to understand the law of intention and desire. Fulfilling your desires with effortless ease makes it easy for you to practice the law of detachment. What's going on, Queen Amber? Finally, as you begin to understand all the above laws, and if you put them into application, I promise you, you will. You got to face your fear. You got to be uncomfortable. But I promise you, once you do that, in those moments, your life, okay, baby, I dare you. I triple dog dare you. Okay? You know when it's triple dog, it gets serious. Okay? Finally, as you begin to understand all the above laws, you begin to focus on your true purpose in life, which leads to the law of Dharma. Through the use of this law, by expressing your unique talents and fulfilling the needs of your fellow humans, you begin to create whatever you want, whenever you want it. You become carefree and joyful, and your life becomes an expression of unbounded love. We are travelers on this cosmic journey, right? Stardust, swirling and dancing in the eddies and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal, but the expressions of life are ephemeral, momentary, transient. And shout out to Ron who brought up, Buddhism. I'm probably gonna mess this first part up, but Lord forgive me. Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, once said, "This exists." Girl, why was I about to? Girl, why was I about to up? Girl, I might as well do it because I was gonna do it. I might as well do it. This existence. Let me stop. This existence of ours. Let me stop. This existence of ours is as transient as autumn clouds, right? To watch the birth and death of beings is like looking at the movements of a dance. A lifetime is like a flash of lightning in the sky, rushing by like a torrent down a steep mountain. Wow. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, right? To meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment, but it is transient. It is a little parenthesis in eternity. If we share with caring, lightheartedness, and love, we will create abundance and joy for each other. And then this moment will have been worthwhile. All right, y'all. And I'm going to read a little bit about the author, okay? Deepak Chopra, okay, is a world-renowned leader in the field of mind-body medicine and human potential. He is the best-selling author of numerous books, including Ageless Body, Timeless Mind, Quantum Healing, and Creating Affluence, as well as numerous audio and video programs, girl, this book is old, dated, that promote health and well-being. His books have been translated into more than 25 languages, and he lectures widely throughout North America, South America, India, Europe, Japan, and Australia. Currently, he is the executive director for the Institute of Mind, Body Medicine, and Human Potential at Sharp Healthcare in San Diego, California. All right, so shout out to the author. Okay, and shout out again by this person learning these laws and applying these laws and helping people to tap into these laws, was he able to create a life that sustains him. And I'm gonna let y'all know, when y'all are starting off your spiritual journey, you will be scared. You will feel abandoned. You will feel exposed. You will feel like that. And even go, like I said, even with religion, there has to be some truths in it a little bit for people to get it. There has to be some truth. But a lot of people don't bank on the truth being exposed. They just bank on lie. You feel me? But with Christ, through the expression of Jesus, or love through the expression of Jesus, or the universe through the expression of Jesus, was a teacher and kept talking about the renewing of your mind and not hardening your heart. Because we deal with certain things in our lives, situations, experiences, people, a lot of people, right, continue to relive the past energetically, unbeknownst to them, and they keep manifesting the same outcome in the present moment. And then a lot of times, because of the past, and the past seems to keep showing up in the present, they start to say, okay, well, if it ain't one thing, is another. And then they start saying things like, oh, I'll never have this, I'll never do that, oh, that'll never, literally cursing their own future, not realizing that the universe and intention only understands two things. That's yes, and it's so. Yes, and it's done. And even in my experience, with me growing up and being bullied and having to learn how to survive in a way that wasn't very healthy, that almost costed me my life, you look back on those things as you get older and you expand your awareness and be like, wow, the old me is just like, you know, oh, I'm just being bullied, fucked up, all this stuff. Then I let that bleed out into my 20s as far as relationships and me showing up as the best version as I felt like I could be at that time, but still was holding on to attachment about a certain outcome and it never happened, and chasing that for so long, because there was a point in time where I really started loving me, and that was during my high school years. And then I fell in love, and I'm grateful for my first love because I have no ill intent or anything towards him. It's just that we were both operating in what we knew at the time, and it wasn't a lot. But that energy that I felt from him, I was chasing that same energy outside of me, because when I was with, it was like, as far as my dreams and goals, it was like that person was a physical manifestation of that. But when it didn't work out, I was trying to chase what I last saw as the reference of that physical manifestation. The physical manifestation was really me becoming aware of myself within me. I was supposed to be my own physical manifestation of my awareness, but I shifted it onto another person, and really the energy of that person, and then was chasing that energy for so long. I had an invitation to self-love through a wise mystic. I took that invitation. I went through, especially in the beginning, baby, a grueling process of ass whooping, bitch. Y'all remember Kill Bill 2? When Beatrice Kiddo was being trained by Pai Mei, and Pai Mei almost snapped her damn arm off, baby. When I tell you I was on some Pai Mei, the White Lotus, Flower Lotus Society, the very much invincible armor, the golden armor for the old school kung fu heads that's listening. Okay? But once I went through that rigorous ego stomping and stuff, I had an ego death. And when that ego death happened, baby, in my own way, it was hell because of the vibratory state that I was in. And the only thing that was able to be my reference point for me to find my way out of hell was the fucking commandment. And yes, I said fucking, was the fucking commandment that Christ said in the Bible. Or one of the things that he did in the Bible, girl, according to the narrative, was conquer death and hell and the grave. To where no matter where you are, even if you're on the complete, opposite extreme of love, just deep, dark, just baby, just the sun seemed like it can't even just shine over there. Love is still there, baby. Even if it's faint, it's still there. And through my ego death, love is what carried my ass on the way back. And when I came back, I felt like I was reborn. I felt like I was in a world that I didn't understand, because my world was slowly shutting down before my ego death. I went through a massive depression. And then when I did my research, I realized I went through something known as the dark night of the soul. And because we are spiritually rising, and even the earth is tilting on its axis, and the age of Aquarius is coming in, so there's a lot of ascension things that are happening. We haven't been taught how to do that. But after that experience, and I had a new mind, or a mind that was factory reset, like refurbished, it's brand new, but it's been used, but it's brand new as far as the memory is concerned. And I started studying to show myself approved, and not only that, but apply it into my life, to the point to where it was like I was in my nomad phase, and I still am, to where I'm literally to myself and figuring out, what do I look like? Not through the lens of somebody else and what they believe it could be, but what do I look like to myself? And with me being in my nomad phase, I'm learning so much about me. And as I'm learning about me, I'm healing past experiences. I'm healing the young BubzDaGawd that I chose to suppress. Out of fear, out of survival, out of being liked, out of being affirmed by other people who really wasn't trying to affirm me. But now I'm learning what that looks like. And once you get to a point in your life where you have strengthened your foundation of that self-love, baby, when you go out into the world, you'll be able to not only receive what you desire, but be able to maintain it and realize that it's not just about me, it's about us. So even when I do my commentary, when it comes down to racism and queerphobia, yeah, I come in talking about the issues and the problem, and I bring up facts, not just stats and just numbers, but also experiences, because you have to have the experience in order for it to manifest in the physical realm as objective truth. And even with that, I still honor the human being. I may critique the thoughts of the human being and what it's doing objectively to people, but I also realize that people are still people and that people can only operate in what it is that they know at the moment. That's why education is important. And not only that, baby, a massive ego death is happening and coming to us in the West. America is long overdue for an ego death, and whenever we start to have one, because of the powers that be, there is a way where they try to distract us so that we don't give it that energy. Baby, the universe is coming through, knocking on everybody's door. Because love transcends religion, beliefs. It is something that is universal. And hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe my leprechaun ass is just crazy enough to believe it. I mean, like I said, I came in this world by myself. I'ma leave. I mean, if there's any motherfucker that I should bank on through the thick and the thickest and the thin and the thinnest of things, it's me. But when you love yourself, even when people are at their lowest moments, you can contribute to them. You can give to them. You can inspire them. You can show them that life is worth living. It's all about how you want to live your life. Baby, I'll tell you, shit deep. But it's real. Hi, Bubz. Just finished your first episode of this book. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you did. Make sure you listen to the rest of them. Please, please, please. I'm doing cool. I'm excited to do this live. Hopefully, I can do the live tonight. Hopefully, Gemini Films will be uploading their stuff tonight, you know what I'm saying? Because it was supposed to come out last night, but of course YouTube and stuff be on that glitchy stuff sometimes, so it is what it is. So hopefully I'll be back tonight to give y'all a review. Next, I gotta find out what book I'm gonna read, because this was a short book. We just finished the book. I gotta find out what's next. If you guys have any suggestions for books, I'm open for that as well. I'm really working with the books I have now, so maybe the books you suggest can happen like in the future. But I'm gonna see what I have next. I might do a poll on Instagram if anybody's interested as far as what books they want to read next. And I'm a person like, bitch, I would read this book. Shit, if I ain't reviewing Western ain't stuff, it might be tonight or probably tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see. I'm getting very excited to share information with people, because I'm applying it to my life. The people that are part of my inner circle, those I talk to and those that I haven't talked to, who I still consider in my inner circle, like ain't nothing gonna change, they're growing, they're evolving, they're getting their due deals, and I'm just happy for everybody. But I'm learning how to be happy for me too. No shade. Looking back in retrospect, especially if you were bullied growing up, is that either you become strong and self-aware or resentful and vengeful. Exactly. And I could have chosen to be resentful and vengeful, but that wouldn't serve anything. Like, again, even the satisfaction of getting vengeance, that's temporary. You know, why do that when I can put my energy into something that's going to last, that's going to benefit me, which is, like you said, becoming stronger and self-aware. And when I look back in retrospect of the bullying, I was being prepared for what my purpose is. Because, baby, I got a slick ass mouth, and y'all haven't even heard it. Y'all heard probably like 1/10 of it. But I know certain situations and experiences and occasions are going to have to call for me to up it. Because again, all false truths, all egoic truths are falling apart, and the objective truth is standing. And a lot of people are not going to like that. But that's why I'm learning to love myself so I can love it. Because everybody, a wise mystic said this, baby, listen, you gonna be exposed. You may feel like you ain't got shit worthy of being exposed of, but baby, you're going to be exposed. So you might as well just 8 Mile yourself. You might as well just Eminem Papa Doc yourself, okay? I'm glad you were emotionally intelligent enough to educate yourself on handling your issues opposed to just adapt and live miserably. But I was going to, that's how my 20s was. Like, I knew I had gifts and talents and things that I wanted to do, but I put it on the back burner because I was like, I want a relationship. I want a nigga. And if I was in a relationship and I just give all this love and they just love me back, then maybe I can feel inspired to just face the world and all that type of stuff. And it was like, no. No, because now your happiness, your salvation, your destiny is now contingent on somebody else. And to be honest, that's not their responsibility. My responsibility is for me as it is for them. But it was my ego death that really kind of like came through as like a glitch in the system. Or I had like a factory reset or something, or like a computer virus, Trojan virus was removed or something. That's kind of what it's like. And the way that our brain is and our intelligence is, it's literally like a computer. It's literally like the memory board of a computer. It's just that we learning to expand. Okay, we upgrade. We upgrading video cards in this bitch. We upgrading graphic cards. We upgrading RAM. We upgrading a memory. So, you know, but there are a lot of people who aren't, and that's why I put this information out as well, because a lot of us are going to have to bump our heads a lot before we get it. And for the people who do walk around, you know, just adapting and living miserably, you're never stuck. I don't care what nobody tells you. I don't care what you heard. There is always a chance for redemption. There's always a chance to rectify. There's always a chance to get back into alignment. And you have to figure out what that looks like for you. For some people, that might be religion. For some people, it might be spirituality like myself. For some people, it might be nature. For some people, it might be a holistic, like whatever that expression does for you, as long as it's not objectively hurting you or someone else, do it. That's why I'm proud of my platform, girl, because over here we also look at some of the things that probably in the LGBT community it seemed taboo. Like, I will sit up here and I review people who saying that they're ex-queer. I'm not sitting here saying, oh bitch, yes you is. I'm going to believe what you say, but at the same time I want you to understand that your reality and other realities can happen at the same time. Let's just hear about yours. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't see a lot of queer people doing that. And if it is, it's in strong opposition. But for me to allow people to be who they say they are, because that's what Christ is, that's what love is, right? To allow people to be as they are, because I know who I am, right? And no shade, I'm gonna have to reach out to Jakari, because Jakari actually watched the video that I did on him and left a comment. It was actually a nice comment. So I'm probably have to reach out to him on Instagram or something and be like, hey, can we set up like a public conversation? Because I would like to go more in depth, because there might be some people in the world who, again, there are people who might resonate with his experience, despite what other people might believe, you know. But again, it's about knowing who you are and are you strong in who you are. Do you get what I'm saying? And that people can coexist. That instead of believing the labels and believing the ideologies that so many other people believe in but don't even study to show themselves approved, I want to be able to challenge those things. Like, can somebody who is queer befriend and connect and tap into the humanity of somebody who said that they're ex-queer? Is it possible? And I guess I just want to be able to see if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, allowing these opportunities and these experiences for me to apply what it is that I'm reading and to study it and see if that's benefiting my life. Now, Ranvu got it. That chick was kind of like, I don't even know, because even with round 2, girl, it's going to be straight up Mortal Kombat, because I already had a conversation on the back end, so it's about to be Mortal Kombat 1 in this bitch, okay? Shout out to Mortal Kombat 1 coming out in September. I hope it's better and it's not a regurgitated stuff, because I'm going to start calling y'all out. Okay? But Jakari might be different. I don't know. Are you contemplating on doing a creepy story segment? See how the universe works? And this is opportunities, and maybe this is what I need to do as well. Thank you for saying that, because that'll probably be something I can work on today, because I try to find something to do productive every day that benefits not only me but other people. Like going live every day, I like that. Being able to commune, to connect with other people, I like that. But I'm glad that you said that, because I wanted to start a segment on my channel called Beyond the Veil, where, because I have horror stories on my YouTube channel, and I encourage y'all to listen to those if you're into that, like horror stories, creepypasta stories, and it gives me a chance to like express my creative outlet as far as being an editor and telling a story. Because with scary stories, it's kind of like back in the day when people would sit around the radio and would listen and use their imagination and their own interpretation of what's being said to like narrate it in their own mind. I've done that before, but I wanted to do a segment on there. But now I kind of wanted to start that segment. I wanted to do it in fall, but I might start it sooner than later since you said that, because the universe might be saying get on that now. But I want to do it like on Saturdays or whatever, like after 8, and kind of want to like do it live. Like I would have 2 stories already pre-recorded with all the sound effects and everything, but to be live and to talk with y'all, and maybe do like 2 stories like every other Saturday, like maybe twice a month. It'd be easier for me to kind of just start it off and kind of create a foundation to build upon. But yes, I eventually do want to do a creepy story time segment. There'll be like horror stories, or there'll be like faux rituals, because even with the character and me getting into character and speaking, I like that type of voice, that type of like James Price. I think it's James Price, the guy who did the end of Thriller, that still creeps me out to this day. Or something Price, I forgot it. Vincent Price, that's his name. Vincent, I said James Price. Who was that? Vincent Price, that type of thing. So yes, it will eventually be coming. I might be looking at stories today since you said that, and probably that's what I need to do. I need to just sit down and get like a bunch of stories and just dedicate a few hours to just reading and recording them, and then eventually just kind of work my way as far as adding the sound effects and everything to kind of make it more of a audio immersive experience. Okay, so yes, that definitely will be on its way. But I thank y'all for rocking with me for the 7 spiritual laws of success. I encourage y'all to listen to the previous lives, or if you want to, you can go ahead and get the book. I have the description for the book the link for the book in the description box below if you guys want to buy it for yourself. They have both a hard copy and a Kindle ebook version, whichever one. All right, but I would say this would probably be a good book to start off with. I would suggest this book for people who are starting off their spiritual journey, or just have questions and want to kind of explore and see. I would say this book is an excellent book. And the reason why I started reading this, shout out to Aries. Aries had texted me and was asking me for more book recommendations, so I sent him some that I've already read. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh, this would be a good book to read on my channel. So shout out to him, because if it wasn't for him, I don't even know if he'll be reading the 7 spiritual laws of success. So shout out to Aries. He's inspired a few lives over here. Okay. But shout out to I think you have the voice of narration. Oh, I do. Thank you. See, again, I'm gonna just start saying thank you, because the universe is affirming me on a smaller level, and I have to touch and agree. So yes, trust me, this is just the beginning for BubzDaGawd. You're gonna hear my voice a lot. Like people gonna be like, I'm tired of hearing his voice. Well, you can cut me off. But for those who want to listen, turn me up. Okay, so shout out to Ron. Shout out to Aries in the building. Shout out to La La. La 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 La. Shout out to Queen Amber in the building. Those were the only people that commented, but shout out to y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody on the replay gang. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, that's the biggest thing, one of the biggest things you can do to help support BubzDaGawd and this channel. If you rocking with my content, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell and hit all. Okay, so you don't miss none of my shit. Okay, because I go live at sporadic times. Gotta follow the flow. And if you're feeling compelled, you can hit that Cash App. Let me put the banner up a little bit. You can donate to the building fund if you want to, okay? $ BubzDaGawd. We take any and everything, baby. Stuff that jingle and folds, whatever you feel compelled to do. Okay, give and receiving is the law, ain't it? So I'm gonna do my part, and if you feel like doing your part in that way, I ain't gonna stop you, okay? So shout out to everybody who came through, and who said Singapore? We gonna see, cause the way this episode set up for the Bad Boys Club, and the fact that it's gonna be some freak shit going on, I might be singing a few damn songs, okay? We gonna have to see. But anyway, thank y'all for rocking with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna leave y'all with the vibes. Until next time, all right? Peace.